So when we're starting out in golf and we want to get a really good setup position, you want to be comfortable around the golf ball. You don't want to get too stiff or too stressed. And you want to kind of think cheat to impact as much as you can. Well, if you're just starting, what is impact? By that I mean we want to be with more pressure or weight onto our front foot. If you see my logo, it's starting to work out in front of the golf ball. Basically, if you play hockey, it's like a slap shot, or if you're skipping a stone right before we release it into the water type thing where the whole body is. So by that, if we're going to cheat, I'm going to put, say, 60% pressure onto my front leg. So I'm not going to do it this way. I'm not going to lean into it with my upper body. I want to kind of take my pelvis and slide it over. If you see that, I kind of have a tilt away from my spine, just natural. And you want to kind of be a little bit, when you slide into there, the hips kind of move. So I kind of feel like my tailbone is moving to my left heel for a righty. So as I get that, I kind of let the tailbone move over there, get that slight tilt for righty. The right hand sits lower than the left, so I'm going to have a natural shoulder lean. I'm not trying to tilt my shoulders, not trying to lean back, just moving the pelvis forward, putting 60% pressure basically on the instep of the lead leg. Going to let the shoulders naturally fall back because the hips move this way. This is the downside. See this when people try to get in the front leg, they start taking this trail arm, they start capping the shoulder, getting the trail arm really straight, and that just sets up for all kinds of failures when we try to get this trail arm straight and on the club. And that typically happens from coming in onto this hand and trying to get it on top of this hand, and we get this arm really stiff, and what happens is we get these back swings that are like this and over the top. So now I'm just going to relax, pelvis sliding into the instep of the lead leg. Naturally let the spine tilt. Right hand sits lower than the left for a righty, so it's also going to tilt my shoulders. And I have pressure pushing the ground on both sides just because this side's over a bit. It's a little bit more pressure here. So why do we set up like that? We want to set up like that with a little bit more onto the front leg because it gives us somewhere to go. Now, when I say go into the backswing, because we want to move into the trail leg, we don't want to slide our hips. We don't want to lean our upper body. So if I start 50-50, where most people, especially beginners, they want to start at 50-50, or they'll even start back here on their back leg because they think they got to help it up. Well, now if we start on this back leg, when I turn, I get a reverse C. So this is death. To come back down the ball, I got to turn again. Just too much moving parts going on there. You're never going to time it. You're never going to time it to get consistent ball strikes. And then the other one, when I'm 50-50, same thing. I make a turn, and then my upper body starts to tilt forward too soon, or I'm 50-50. My arms just kind of come up here because I know I don't want to tilt forward, so my arms start to bend, and then I pop up. So when we have the more about 60% pressure, roughly, it doesn't have to be exact there, using the lower body, get into this position. Now when I make a turn, see how I kind of have that little bit of motion. It's just like when you're pitching in baseball, they move back into the mound. We want to move back into the mound in golf here. So now when I make that motion, now I'm turned on this leg. It's really stable into the ground, into my trail hip. I don't have that reverse C. I can get my hands really far from my head. And then we want that width because then I can shift back forward and collect this golf ball. So when you're setting up this way, 60% forward, it just gives you somewhere to go. It gives you somewhere to go on the back leg so you can come back to the front leg again and collect the golf ball. And if you really get into golf, watch golf a little bit differently. Kind of watch them from the ground up and watch their swings. You can see the push into the ground, the turn, and then the push back into the front foot. If they start 50-50, when you take it away, you start to tilt this way towards the target, then you'll start to tilt away on the way down. So give that a try. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and share if you like this video, or if you want some more content. The more I know that people are watching, the more content I'm going to make. And yes, I'd love your feedback on other future videos to make.